Morning, guys. Welcome to the hood, Mr. Wilson. Wow, what a first start. Steelers offense. They look good. They look capable. They look competent. I've been a Russell Wilson fan since he played at Wisconsin. I was, my buddy's a Seahawks fan. I was super excited for him when they got him way back when. Gonna be honest, I wasn't terribly sure about what we were getting when we signed a 35-year-old quarterback who seemed to be on the downside of his career, played his way out of Seattle. Aside from a few games last year, didn't look great in Denver. Had some bad rumors of him being not a great team player. Boy, he sure didn't look that last night. He looked like the leader, the Super Bowl winning quarterback that he is. I tuned in late, so I missed a little bit of the rust, but almost instantaneously, when I turned the TV on, I saw an offense that had direction. It was an offense that wasn't one-dimensional. And I mean, those of you that know me know that I like Justin Fields. He's certainly got a lot of talent. But what he doesn't have that Russell Wilson does have is the touch on the deep passes. And I think that brings George Pickens back in the light. Now, I've been hard on Pickens some, and, rightfully so. He's, has not lived up to full expectation. Some of that through quarterback play, some of that through his own growing pains, right? But what I saw last night, I had to eat a little bit of crow with one of my buddies I was texting back and forth on, Colts fan. He looked the part of a wide receiver one, or the part of the player that we drafted him to be. But the most impressive thing about all of this is the rest, right? So Freiermuth comes alive, gets I think close to 60 yards, involved in the offense. I love Najee. He's turned into the player that we all thought he was going to be. With Russell kind of softening the front seven, I think that he is one of the guys that gets the biggest bump in production from that. I think he had 111 yards last night in a touch. You could see he's happy. He loves having Russell there. And then, the other part of that is the emergence of Van Washington. Van Washington last night looked like a competent wide receiver. And, that's the thing to me is I've said all along that we've missed that wide receiver too, to kind of take some of the focus away from Pickens and Najee and to an extent Freiermuth. So really good to see the offense come alive last night. Beat up offensive line, had Russell scrambling a little bit, but he was quick and decisive in his decisions. Did not make many mistakes, if any. Totally blew the doors off the project there in the second half with the Jets floundering, quite a bit, after the unfortunate injury to Newsome. I think the offensive lineman looked pretty brutal. I don't know what the update with that is, but I hope that young man's doing well. Man, what do you say about Beanie Bishop? Here's a guy who looks like a high school player. I mean, he is small. Of course, WVU guy. Was a playmaker there for sure. Certainly know of his abilities from that experience. But here's a guy who you bring in as a nickel cornerback, makes two big plays, and is honestly close to getting a defensive touchdown last night. So congratulations to Beanie. I hate Chris Collinsworth, the Beanie Baby bullshit he puts on last night, I wanted to reach through the TV and punch him in the nose. But anyway, I won't go on too much about that. Beanie Bishop's legitimate. He's your slot cornerback. The secondary is rounding into form, I think, a little bit. Good to see Highsmith back last night, playing, making some plays. Defense looked good, and this is what I talked about. I can't remember if it was last week or week before. You don't know if the defense is good or not because you're covering them up on offense. Well, when you start running the deeper pass routes and throwing the ball downfield a little bit, it shows, when the other team has to start doing the same things, how good your defense is. And I was very impressed with that last night. Thought Arthur Smith did a great job calling the game last night. George Pickens, I can't say enough about, his effort. I think he had 102 or 111 yards, something like that. Touchdown, again, good to see his rapport with Russell right off the bat. Russell throws a pretty ball, man. He puts the ball in the place where it needs to be with the right timing, and that's important. So I look forward to seeing when we start getting some of our linemen back. I think Simalu came back last night, so that's a big help. But Frazier, I think, will play next week. If not right after the bye. I think that's more of a precautionary thing than anything else. This team could be really dangerous down the stretch. And if I'm Omar Khan, I'm trying to re-sign Najee Harris right now, and I'm trying to re-sign Russell Wilson, right? Because those two together, now they're still missing they don't have the targets that some other teams do. But with Jaylen Warren coming back and looking healthy last night, they've got two really solid running backs that are versatile. I say it again, Darnell Washington last night, 4 receptions, 40 yards. That guy is still being underused. They need to get him the ball in the red zone. He is a touchdown. To me, he should have double-digit touchdowns every year for the rest of his career because you just can't match up against him. But again, also good, four receptions last night. I think on 4 targets. Really good night for him. Getting more and more involved in the offense. I think that comes. The one person who I think he hit him on a big route late in the game, who could be a big weapon for them, is Cal Austin. Cal Austin's Tavon Austin. They're the same person. You get him the ball in the open field, and he's dangerous. Watch out. So I look for them as him and Russell get more rapport. To continue to break out. He's a rookie last year. He was hurt all last year, but has shown off his speed a couple times this year, and I think there's a lot more to come in that regard. So, they've yet to play a division game, so it'll be interesting. The second half of the season, there's gonna be a whole lot of familiarity. And they're in the driver's seat right now, depending, even with what Baltimore does tonight, they're in the driver's seat. So things are shaping up really well for the Steelers. I love seeing the two Mountaineers on there playing well. Beanie Bishop and Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier's going to be an all-pro center for a decade. I'm pretty confident of that. He's probably one of the top 3 centers in the game right now as a rookie. I know he didn't play last night, but I fully enjoy watching him and feel like the Steelers did a great job scouting and getting to him in the draft. So, again, Russell Wilson is legit. The Steelers look legit. Chappie here, I just, really excited about what I saw. I'll get to you guys later this week on some Pacer stuff, but for now, Indie Sports Guy, Chappie, peace out. I'm going to work out.